All right, good morning. So I'm walking off to the Colosseum here in Rome, and I thought, let me take you with and share with you one of the most powerful concepts that I've ever come across as a copywriter and as a business owner. And once you understand this concept, you're going to make a lot more money, you're going to work a lot less, and you're going to have the lifestyle that you got into this industry for in the first place. So, with that said, walk with me to the Colosseum. Let's get started. So, most copywriters are drowning in tactics, they're drowning in secrets, information, all that stuff. They're buying course after course, they're watching video after video, consuming post after post from marketing pros. And they're still stuck at the same income level that they were stuck at 6 months ago. And maybe that's you too. You know how to write, you can write hooks and closes, and you understand the differences between, problem aware, solution aware. Maybe you can even recite Eugene Schwartz and the Gary Halbert quotes. But you're working far too many hours a week. You're getting paid less than 10K a month. You're constantly stressed about where your next client's coming from. And you're not achieving the goals that, you set out for yourself when you started in this industry. I know that this is the stuff that most copywriters struggle with because I lived that life too, right? I used to feel so stupid. I literally had access to millions of dollars worth of online business coaching from my copywriting clients because I worked with a lot of business owners. And I'd been through $30,000 masterminds, high-level programs, every secret training that you can imagine. Secret, right? I went through it. And I was even surrounded by the best marketers in the game because the clients I was working with, they had great talent on their team. And I was still stuck at $40,000 a year. Wasn't hitting 10K a month, wasn't working my dream hours. I was working to death, actually. I was constantly worried about money, burning out project after project. So I had all this information. I had everything I needed technically, but I was still missing the one thing that would actually change everything for me. And once I figured out what that one thing is, which I'm going to share with you in this video, I hit 25K a month, just working 25 hours a week a few years later. And then I shared that one thing that changed everything for me with other copywriters. And using that same concept that I'm about to share with you now, that one thing, I've helped close to 100 copywriters to break 6 figures and make their dream income. And this one thing has nothing to do with tactics or some secret framework. The simple concept is systems. I've talked about this a few times on the channel, but I'm talking about it again. This is the most important thing I can share with you this year. Systems is not just this thing that, a lot of people think about as like some complicated workflow or software. A system is different to that. I'm talking about a proven, easy to follow step-by-step process, a system that helps you grow your business. Systems that you can follow in a sequential order to get everything that you dream of. And you know what a perfect metaphor is for this? Rome itself. Look at the city. The Romans understood systems better than almost any civilization in history. They didn't just throw rocks on the road, they built a system for road construction that allowed them to build 50,000 miles of stone roads across the entire empire. Every road followed the same systematic process. Let's talk about their army. They didn't just have soldiers. They had systematic training, systematic formations, systematic supply chains that allowed a very small nation at the time to actually conquer the entire known world. Let's talk about the Colosseum. It wasn't just a building. It was a system. A system for moving 50,000 people in and out safely. A system for managing gladiator fights, even naval battles and animal hunts. Every single aspect of Roman culture was systematized. Systems is how Rome conquered the world. And that's actually exactly what's missing from your copywriting business, okay? Systems. But here's where most copywriters go wrong with systems and why they don't apply systems. The problem with strategy-only thinking. You see, what most copywriters do is they learn a strategy like, let's say, cold email outreach, right? They send 50 emails or 100 emails, they get no response, and they say, cold email doesn't work. Then they go and try LinkedIn outreach, and they send 100 connection requests, they get a few conversations going on, but they don't really go anywhere, and they conclude the same thing. LinkedIn doesn't work. Then they try job applications. They apply to 50 positions, they apply to everything. They get a few interviews, but no offers, and then they conclude job applications don't work. So everything doesn't work, okay? But what they don't realize is that every single one of these strategies can work and does work, and my private clients use them and get lots of results and close dozens of clients. So the problem is not the strategy, it's the execution of the strategy. That's the problem with strategy-only thinking. It's not just about the strategy, it's actually about the system behind the strategy. A strategy is what you're going to do, but the system is how you're going to do it step by step in a repeatable way that produces predictable results. Like cold email, it's a strategy. But the cold email system includes setting up properly warm domains, researching prospects, looking at specific criteria, writing emails with proven structures to get attention, following up consistently, booking calls with specific setups. Like some people use Calendly, some people have a Google Calendar, and then closing the deals with a systemized sales process. Most copywriters focus on the strategy. I'm just going to do cold email, but they don't focus on the actual steps within that strategy, the system behind that strategy. And then they wonder why it doesn't work. And they also don't do it long enough and they don't get results, right? So when you start thinking in systems, everything in your business changes. Instead of just dropping a strategy when it doesn't work, you diagnose which step in the system broke down. I'll give you an example. I had a copywriter in the Copy Dojo who was struggling with job applications. He was getting interviews, he wasn't getting offers. Instead of saying job applications don't work, I sat with him and we broke everything down in the system step by step. So step 1, finding the right job posts. Okay, he did that correctly. Step 2, crafting an application to get an interview. And that was working too, because he was getting interviews. Step 3, performing well on the interview. That was the break. That was where things weren't going right. He was actually not closing the deal at that step. And turns out, he was telling every interview about his big entrepreneurial dreams, how he planned to start his own business soon, and he had this big vision. And so, of course, they weren't hiring him, right? Because no one wants to train someone who's planning their exit strategy before even starting working with them. So it was like such an obvious little thing. And many people who are strategy focused would have completely stopped the strategy. But no, we just focused on that step in the system. And you know what? The next interview he took, he got the gig and he made $4,000. And now it's a $4K a month retainer. One small systematic adjustment changed his entire situation. No new strategy, just systems. So here are the 3 sets of systems that you need as a copywriter to make your dream income and work the hours that you want to work. There are 3 systems every successful copywriter has mastered that I've worked with and that I see in our industry that are crushing it, okay? The first one is level 1, copy systems. How do you systematically generate great copy every single time without just depending on inspiration or having a good day? This is where a lot of copywriters fail because they're relying on creativity, they're relying on everything except a systematized process. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Writing copy is a mechanical process. You don't have to keep trying to do different things. There is a system for every piece of copy. So that's level 1, copy systems. Level 2 is client acquisition systems. And this is what most people think of when they hear systems. How do you systematically find and close clients? There are about 12, sometimes 13 client acquisition strategies at work, but each one requires a very complete system for it to be effective. And I share a video on my channel about these 12 strategies, but for them to work, you need to actually do each step within the system. And if you have these 2 systems, client acquisition and copy systems, that will take you to about 10K a month. But to get to that next level, you also need one more system. You need level 3, business operation systems, or just business systems for short. How do you systematically scale your business without working more hours? Because at 10K to 25K, you don't want to be working 2.5 times more. By systematizing your client communication, revision process, types of clients you work with, the amount you charge, the deliverables that you deliver for clients, even your personal productivity, all these are part of those systems. That's systems of building the business, copywriting business. Most copywriters don't even get past the level 1 systems for copy systems, and very few even master client acquisition systems. So level 3, almost nobody really focuses on, except the copywriters who are making 20K a month and beyond, right? And that's what we focus on, in the dojo. The people I'm about to go meet, the copywriters I'm about to go meet, we focus on that in the dojo as well, right? But those copywriters who focus on all 3 of these sets of systems, they are the ones making $25,000 per month. Let's take Yasin as an example. I interviewed him recently on the channel, and Yasin made $50,000 from copywriting in 1 month, a few months ago. When we had a chat about it, you can watch the video on this channel. What he said was the one thing that made everything work was that he wasn't just learning new copywriting techniques or trying random strategies. He didn't have some secret strategy. Here's literally what he said. I systematized everything, my client acquisition, my copy creation process, even how I use AI. I don't have to think about the mechanics anymore. I just follow my systems and the results are predictable. So that's the power of systems. That's the power of systems thinking. I've created many videos on this channel and I encourage you to really focus on systems because this is the #1 gap in pretty much every single copywriting business that I look at. Every single business I look at, there's either a gap in level 1, level 2, or level 3. There's always a gap somewhere there. And once you get this right, you're going to start making a lot more money. And that's really what I wanted to share with you. That's like the 80-20 of this video. It's really, really important. But there is one more very important thing you have to understand about systems. And in order to embrace systems, your identity needs to change. If you're just an employee, then yeah, of course, you're just going to rely on your skills and hard work. When you see yourself as a business owner, on the other hand, then using systems makes total sense. And that's why the identity is so important. Also, if you ever want to hire somebody to help you, it's a lot easier to hire people when you can show them your systems. And it's the same with AI too, right? Like integrating AI into your workflow. Copywriters making the most money, they're not fighting AI or they're not relying on it completely. They're integrating it into their workflow because they have systems and they can use their skills and AI to get them to that next level. So let's go back to hiring people, right? Like if you need help with client acquisition, you can give them your systems. If you need someone to help you with writing copy, you can give them your systems. If you want to train AI to help you, you can do that too. So shifting your identity from a freelancer or an employee copywriter to a business owner is the most important identity shift that you need to make if you want to crush it as a copywriter and if you want to use systems in your business and actually make more money. Also, one of my favorite parts of systems is that they compound in so many different ways. Like even the best writers, they're going to have off days. Like not, I don't have the best day every day. Like today I'm actually a little bit tired as I record this. Like, I was out late last night talking with the dojo. I worked late on some projects. I worked with my team recording videos, prepared for this video. Like I don't have unlimited energy, even though I'm a skilled writer. But because I have systems, I can get results regardless of whether I'm having a good day or a bad day. So systems work whether you're feeling inspired or not. Systems work whether you're experienced or if you're new. So when you combine your skills with your systems, that's when you become unstoppable. When you follow systems to acquire better and better clients, you also get better case studies and testimonials. So there's this positive loop that starts happening. And when you systematically create better copy, you're also systematically building a better reputation. See, when you take action consistently in the same order, the results keep compounding. I always talk about action, action, action on my email list, on social, I post about this, on this channel, I talk about it. Action is powerful, but when you have a system of steps to follow in order, then the action is more and more powerful. And the best part of it for me personally is this lifestyle aspect. And that's probably why you got into copywriting in the first place, right? Lifestyle freedom. You didn't become a copywriter to work 50 hours a week stressed about money. I bet you became a copywriter because you wanted location independence, time freedom, financial freedom, right? The big three that everybody talks about on all these, how to make money online channels. But that's true. That's what you came for. That's what you joined the industry for. You want those three things. In our industry, in the game of copywriting, it comes from systems. The structure gives you that life freedom. Like, look at this. I'm right here recording this video for you right in the middle of Rome because my business runs on systems. It's running right now while I'm recording this. There are parts of my business that are delivering value to clients. My team is helping me produce videos. I wrote some posts that I've scheduled. It's systems. And the copywriter is making $25,000 per month who are traveling the world and spending time with family and pursuing hobbies and just have their dream life. It's only possible because they have systems that eliminate guesswork and eliminate low quality focus. It makes everything better. And if you plan to build a different business later and you don't want to just be a copywriter forever, most copywriters have an end goal that's not just copywriting. Every business you're going to build in your future is also built on systems. So you should learn this now. I would highly recommend that you just start now. Like you can start preparing for that next mission with this business, right? Like my business today, now I'm coaching copywriters. I don't just write copy for clients. I have systems for this business, but I built systems first for my copywriting business. And then I transitioned into, having a coaching business, education business, and I built more systems and I learned more and more and more systems. And also with marketing, like when I consult businesses, I also have systems that I give people and I show people how to build for their business, right? Okay, so now for the big question. Let's talk about some actionables for you. How do you implement system thinking into your copywriting business? Well, join my offers and just get my systems. I'm just joking, but you could do that. That's actually one very easy way to just save yourself a lot of time. But here's how you can do it without joining the dojo or copy systems, okay? You can do it by yourself too. Step one is to start with diagnosis. Look at where you're stuck right now and ask yourself, are you struggling to get clients? Break down your client acquisition into steps and identify where the system is breaking. What step of the process? Are you getting clients but struggling with delivery? Well, then break down your copy creation process into steps and identify where you're wasting time or where you're not getting consistent results for clients. Are you delivering good work and getting good clients but you can't scale beyond 10K? Then break down your business operations into steps and identify what part of that, what you're doing or what you're not doing, you need to start doing or stop doing to grow. The key is to just stop jumping from strategy to strategy, whether it's writing copy, whether it's getting clients, whether it's growing your business, and focus on systematization. This might take you 3 to 6 months to optimize, but in that time, you're going to start getting a lot of your time back. You're going to get a better lifestyle. You're going to have more control over your business, and then the money's going to catch up, and the money's going to really, really compound. So here's my assignment for you in this video. Pick one area of your copywriting business that's frustrating you right now. Just one. Instead of looking for a new strategy or tactic online to fix it or reading someone's email list, break down that thing that you're struggling with into its individual components, into each step of the process, and then identify where it's breaking down. When you find out where it's breaking down, just fix one thing at the breaking point, and then repeat, and repeat again, and repeat again. The Romans built a civilization that lasted for over 1,000 years, not because they had better strategies, but because they had better systems. So stop asking yourself, what's the secret I'm missing? What are they doing I'm not doing? How are copywriters in the dojo making so much money in this economy or in this marketplace? Like, what are they doing differently? And instead ask yourself, how can I execute every step in the system flawlessly? And there you have it, okay? This is the last video you'll really ever need as a copywriter. Not because you're gonna stop learning or because it's not worth watching other videos, but once you understand systems thinking, everything else is just complementary. It's implementation of building systems. Now go out there and systematize your success. And if you want help from me on building your systems, thinking about systems, what parts of your business to focus on, where to look for the breaks in your systems, and so you can make more money while working less, then apply to join my email list at list.copywriting.org. And that's all I've got for now. So I'll see you next time. All right, so here I am at the Coliseum. Thanks for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it and got some good takeaways. I'm going to go hang out with some of my private clients now in the dojo, so I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.